What's up, guys? Jeffrey Hu here. I am here in my condo in Bangkok, and today I'm going to talk about how anyone can get sponsored by a Muay Thai or MMA gym out here in Thailand. And by anyone, I mean literally anyone, whether you're a beginner, amateur, or pro. Now, the reason why a sponsorship is important is because Muay Thai and MMA gyms usually cost around like $300 to $400 a month. Since Muay Thai is a huge part of Thai culture, is the national sport of Thailand for those of you who don't know, and it's one of the most common ways for Thais to support themselves and their families. With that being said, a sponsorship can save you a lot of money, especially if you plan on living in Thailand long term. Now, the simplest way to get sponsored by a gym is to train hard, show that you can win fights, and fight regularly. And by training hard, I mean showing up on time to morning and afternoon training sessions, which are usually like Mondays to Fridays, and for some gyms, Saturdays. Most gyms would even have a half hour to 1 hour run before the morning sessions. So definitely show up to runs if you plan on fighting. By training hard, you are also demonstrating to coaches that this is something you really want to do, and you are not like other foreigners who train at a gym just to experience the culture. Now, in the case that you cannot make it to a morning session, for example, because you have a daytime job, like say you work as an English teacher, at least make it to the sessions that you can make it to. Like if you can only make it on the weekends and the afternoon sessions because of your job, then show up on the weekends and afternoons, preferably a half hour or hour before so that you can get your run in. Now, as for winning fights, some of you might be thinking, oh, that's too hard. But the truth is, you don't always have to fight someone who's high level and fight major promotions like Lumpini Stadium, Rajadamnern 1, or Max Muay Thai. In fact, you can fight at a small local or tourist stadium like Bang La in Phuket, where the level isn't always as high. It's non-common in those stadiums to fight someone who's around the same skill level as you or even lower, like say for example another fellow tourist or foreigner or a tuk-tuk driver. And for those who don't know, tuk-tuk drivers are Thais who don't really train much and are more like part-time fighters because their main source of income comes from driving tuk-tuks or taxis. They only fight to get some extra money on the side, and they usually don't care as much about winning or losing. Like, don't get me wrong, there are still high level fighters at local stadiums, and mismatches can still happen, especially out in a place like Phuket. I've seen foreigners that were on the good end of a mismatch, and I've also seen foreigners that were on the bad end of a mismatch. But chances are, if you train hard, your gym should be able to get you fights where you can win, especially if it's a small gym where they have a much bigger obligation to hold and to build and uphold their reputation. Now, there are gyms that are looking to sponsor fighters who can fight at Lumpini and Rajadamnern, but even if you're not at that level, they can still provide a partial sponsorship where at least the training is covered, even though they may not cover accommodation or regular meals, which some gyms provide. But of course, you still have to train hard. Now, as for fighting regularly, this really depends on the gym. Like some gyms would have you fight like once every few months, like maybe like once every 2 or 3 months. Some gyms would have you fight once a month. And there are also some gyms that are pretty hardcore and would have you fight like once every 1 or 2 weeks, which is actually the traditional Thai way of doing it. And so pretty much that is about it. Like obviously it does take some time, and how slow or fast you get the sponsorship depends on your skill level and more importantly your work ethic. And as the saying goes, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. But that's mainly the way to do it. Now, say if you're a complete beginner and you want to get sponsored right away, Maybe you can do so by providing other services that can be useful to a gym. Like, say, you can be the gym's photographer, content creator, manage the gym's social media accounts, or develop and maintain a website for the gym, because by then you're technically an employee. Anyways, I hope this helps. Be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe for more Thailand tips, and I'll see you next time.